Of course.
All right, we are back. It's Friday the 13th here in Atlanta. Well, I guess it's Friday the 13th wherever you are, but
Yeah, it's Friday the 13th everywhere.
but we in Atlanta right now, and I have to say it's a rather nice day today. I'm looking
Yeah,
out there.
get used to it. Don't get used to it, rather.
What is we're getting some weather over the weekend or something?
No, like Tuesday, it's supposed to be freezing.
Oh, we're getting but well, we woke up. What was it? Wednesday. It was 80, and then by the time we woke up, and the next day, it was like low 40s or something like that.
40s. Yep.
Low 40s. It is. It's still not. It's still not technically spring.
Yeah, well, evidently not, because we're going to get hit with some more freezing weather.
Well, by the way, who are you again?
Bo and Nicole and John Colder Ice Lawson. Don't even know where my camera is there. I'm, I'm in the wrong place.
I know where my camera is, and it's. I'm Brent Leary. Excuse the voice; it sounds a little rough. It's been a long week, but
Pretty
we're
much
here,
the
folks.
same. Pretty much the same.
We're here, folks.
Yes.
Lots of stuff. It's been a little while. What, a couple weeks?
It's been a little while. I don't even remember, honestly.
It's been at least 3 weeks, I think.
Okay. All
But
right.
we
Well,
had to come back because it's Friday the 13th.
yes, it's my lucky day.
It's spooky. Do you believe in that stuff? Like bad stuff
No, I don't
happens.
believe it. No, but it is a lucky day. I mean,
Oh, you call it a lucky day?
yeah, man, I'm a 13th born person, so
Ah, all right.
every once in a while, Friday the 13th becomes my birthday. So,
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
yeah, like every 7 years, 6 years, whatever the number is.
Mm. All
Yes,
right. Yeah. So we're here. It's been a while, but stuff is always happening.
it
Stuff that.
was really nice yesterday. So Brent had his, you know, IRL live.
Yeah. So it was the second annual. I guess it's. I don't know. We'll see if
Oh, second annual.
no. We'll
Wow.
see if it was the IRL and the small biz breakdown crew got a little mini edition in. That was actually kind of fun. Being in there doing it live. We miss
Yeah,
Ivana.
yes.
We miss Ivana,
Live
and
audience.
yeah, we even had a little bit of a live studio audience in there. That was
Yeah.
actually kind of fun. But we did miss Ivana. We missed Pierre. Shashi had already done a show that he does, so we didn't have him on that one. But you and Ramon and Leland from Oregon. That's like officially his name now. It's Leland.
Oh, is it?
You gotta say
Leland
Leland from
Morgan's
Oregon.
official.
That is official, and he had brought his wife, so we got to see Tabby. Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tabby. It was fun. It was good to do that live. I like that.
And all the other folks. I mean,
Oh,
y'all are putting on a whole bunch of stuff going on.
yeah, and it actually seemed to come together. So this time around, we were live. We had 4 live streams at one point going all at the same time. We were doing our PPN show, so there was a stream for that. So I think we did about 5 or 6 different shows there, including the mini edition of Small Biz Breakdown, and then we had a main agenda in another room, and that was being live streamed. We had a stream specifically for Heather Willems, who was in the corner in the main stage doing her visualizations. So that was pretty cool. People love the Heather cam. And then we even had a 4th stream, which it was a watch party, and it was a bunch of industry analysts watching and doing like the Peyton Manning and Eli Manning Monday Night Football thing, where they're watching and commentating and bringing in guests and all that. So all 4 of those things at one point were going on. And then we had our buddy Monique Johnson Dilworth and her friend Christy Cooper, who were like the official MCs for both the virtual and the
Yeah, they did such a
physical.
good job.
Yeah, they made it fun. And everybody seemed to have a good time. and I was pretty happy about that. So
Awesome.
very, very cool. I'm glad it's over with though. There's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
anyway, so what's on your mind? What's going
Nothing.
on in the world? You came out hot
Nothing.
yesterday with when I asked everybody what
Oh,
how you
man.
feeling. You came out hot.
I did that. That was
Yeah.
good. I was sitting there. I was like, how am I gonna answer this? Then that came to me, and I'm like, oh yeah. Totally.
And then
Totally.
Ramon immediately
They didn't know what to do. Both of them just sitting there going like, ooh,
that was fun.
yeah. I mean, you can't. It's hard to attack my words when I'm using Donald Trump's words.
Yeah, that was a bit. Yeah, I was like a jujitsu.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
I'm like, everything I said is what Donald Trump said. So Brent asked, "How you doing?" Everybody goes, "Or how you feeling this week?" Like we do on the show. And my response was, "I'm tired of winning.
so much winning.
So much winning. You know, we got the best economy in the world. We just won the war yesterday. You know, all this crap that he be spewing out to people, and don't nobody call him on it, so they can't call me on it.
Yeah, it was
At
rather
least
interesting.
not those, cheerleaders.
And just as
Oh,
we were,
that was the other thing too.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing too was how um, Rosie, non-Rosie, both of their comments were.
Oh,
You know, it's not. It's like it's not too bad. It's we're hoping to look at that kind of a milk toast sissy comment. Not that they're milk toast sissies, but
no, not at all.
that's the comment. I was like, don't dance around. You
It,
know how bad things are right now.
and just before we started this, you see where the courts were against their
Oh yeah.
their pursuit of my boy. I like to call my boy Jerome or Romy Rome. So they've been, I guess, trying to subpoena or sue or try to get some kind of criminal activity going against Jerome Powell because he's been kind of resisting the push for lower interest rates because he's really seems to be worried about the actual economy, not about anything else. And the economy, as we all know, is in a pretty fragile state right now.
Yeah, exactly. What if we were at very low interest rates right now?
Oh, it would be the inflation would be like ugh.
Yeah.
And we're only like Jerome is, I think his term ends in May.
In a month.
Yeah, so all you have to do is wait. All you have to do is wait like 6 weeks and you can get your guy in there.
Why are they tripping?
It's the vengeance thing. It's the redemption thing. It's
whatever.
So the courts basically said, "Now we know what you're doing here. You're only doing this because you want to get lower. You want to put somebody in so you can get your lower interest rate." This has been happening all over. I mean, how many court decisions have they lost because they're doing the redemption thing? It's just
I don't know, man. It's
we need to move on. We're still bogged down in 2020 election stuff.
Yes, they're still going to make that a point in the case.
Yeah, it's time. America, don't you just want to move on from stuff that happened years ago that you can't change? You just can't.
I mean, nobody else is saying those words either. It's only Trump.
I know.
You know, it's not like any of the other, sycophants are running around on news channels talking about it. He's the only one.
Yeah, we just gotta let it go.
Get over it.
Because there's so much going on right now. We should be unifying around stuff instead of fighting old battles and stuff. I don't know. It just feels like it's time to move on certain things.
Yeah, I agree.
And we both know that ain't gonna happen, which is true.
Nah. It's unfortunate, but yeah, whatever. What
do you think about the Anthropic? It seems like OpenAI kind of went in when Anthropic was holding their ground a little bit, and now they're kind of back. It's such a weird time. there's so many things going on, and it just feels unsettling. I have this feel like just a basic general feeling of unsettledness. I don't. That's just going on with almost everything. It's just a weird time. Are you unsettled at all?
Am I unsettled? I don't
Do
know
you
if
know?
that's
Well, do
the
you feel
term
the
that I would use.
unsettled? Yeah. Well, what's a good term for whatever you're feeling right now?
I mean, you put a clown in the office and you end up in a circus. I feel like we're in a circus.
It feels like a really bad reality TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Like the one he left.
I didn't even
mean,
watch that because,
nah, I used to enjoy that show.
but I would think I could see him being a great reality TV person, which apparently he was, because it's a show. It was meant
Yeah,
to
he's good for a
entertain.
show. He's
What
good
he's
for a show.
Yeah, but what he's doing now, this is not a show,
We
man.
don't
This
need a
is real
show,
life.
man. There's soldiers dying right now.
Yeah, that's really unfortunately, there's little children that died going to a school.
That's horrible.
It's really
That was
sad.
so horrible.
It's
Very
really
sad.
sad. Yeah, for anyone to be
You
dying
know,
in this stuff is really sad.
yeah, and then just a whole school of children. Jeez,
Mm-mm.
man, one bad missile.
Yeah.
You know,
So anyway,
man.
that's why I have this. It's because we are. It's weird. We're in a war, and things are still going on, and like as usual in our country, at least. Like we just came back from a business conference. We're at
Right.
war. It's really kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm like, what? Anyway, I don't want to go over this war thing. It makes no sense to me.
What's a good thing? Oh, you know what makes sense?
What's that?
So yesterday you were wearing a Prince shirt,
Yes.
and we're coming up next month a year it'll be 10 years since Prince passed away.
Yes.
So we need to figure out something really cool to do.
Yeah, we're gonna do the show.
What's that?
I want to do the Prince episodes.
I think that'll be great.
Yeah, I heard these guys, and my husband was playing them the other day, and they were doing a show where they were kind of uh, doing some commentary on different albums, a couple of different albums,
Okay.
and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to them, and I'm like, wow, these guys are probably late 30s, early 40s, and they don't really they didn't know what went on,
Yeah.
you know. And of course, and every time I see people talking about, Prince that didn't actually live through it or weren't like huge fans, they make errors. They make
Like what?
mistaken errors. Um, like one of the things was they were talking about Sign of the Times, and they were playing some of the songs on there, and he's like, "Yeah, and the Prince and the Atlanta Brass, are actually
Atlanta Bliss.
Bliss. I'm sorry, are actually credited on this." And I'm like, "Bro, there is no such thing."
Wow.
But they don't know that. They don't know the stories. Another guy I'm watching in he was trying to talk about, how Prince uh, was surrounded by other great artists, and with great music, the time and the vanities of the world. I'm like, bro, there were no time. There were,
Well,
yes,
there were no time in the studio.
there was no time in the studio.
Yeah.
Totally, but they don't know. He didn't really know that Prince wrote all of that and then said, "Hey, I need you to sing this because Warner Brothers won't let me release another album."
Yeah. It is
I mean, that's
fascinating.
crazy when you think about it.
And it is, because there's something about. I mean, it's great for people who weren't around or weren't paying attention to be able to listen and have these conversations, because it does help keep him alive to a certain extent.
Yes.
But when they kind of come off like they're an authority because they listen to the albums or whatever or watch the videos, you're still missing you know what's good, because we were there. We know there's the feeling element and the impact of the initial release of something, not your finding it 3 decades later, but when it was actually being created, we were there, and you can't replicate that. You can't replicate that. AI can't replicate that.
Absolutely. So it's like, I think we have, and then we've talked about doing this for a while. So
I've seen people do it. Like I've seen these kids. Well, I say kids, not people younger than me, which is a lot of people. Like I was watching this.
That's most people.
I was watching this guy. He said he's going to do a deep dive, starting with the very first album and go all the way through the 39, studio albums. And
I can't do that.
Well, yeah, this is what it's so cool to see. It's cool to see it from the eyes and ears of somebody who wasn't around. So
he wasn't around.
No, this kid is probably like born in mid to late 90s, maybe even in the 2000s. So he started with For You. And I mean, I have to admit, when For You first came out, I really, he was an unknown. I didn't really hear it a lot. I don't remember really hearing the one song that was considered a some kind of a hit, Soft and Wet. So when it first came out, I didn't know much about it, but after kind of hearing it through the ears of somebody who's hearing for the first time, so I actually, listened to it. That was such an underrated album. That album is great. And the way it starts off with him harmonizing with himself, he was only 18 when he did this stuff, and he did everything on that album. And I listened to the whole thing, and I'm like, wow, was this thing slept on? Because Soft and Wet is a good, kind of disco-ish song, but there were so many other good songs on there. And think about how mature he was in back then when he was only 18, 19. He had a maturity well beyond
I think it's 17, 18.
17. Well, yeah. So he was born in 58. It came out in 78. So he was probably making it in like 77. So at the most 19, right? Probably 18, 19. You're right. So, but the craftsmanship and not just the playing of the instruments, but the design of the music, the way he layered his own voice. His voice was like several other instruments, and his guitar playing and his piano playing, and the way he produced it, he the way he mixed it, he did all of that. I hate when people just say, "Oh, he plays a lot of instruments and he sings great." That's just scratching the surface, because the way that he crafted songs, the lyrics, the way that he put the songs together, the way he layered things. How did he get that good at so young at doing all of that beyond the singing and the music, the instrument stuff?
He was born that way.
Yeah, I know his father was in the jazz, and his mother was a singer. But man, I mean, he had something that he was born with, some stuff that most of us will never know what it is.
Yeah, he was a prodigy.
I guess that's a good way of putting it. He was a prodigy. I mean, there were other kids, like there's been young child or young people, musicians and things that had some of that, but he must have been possessed, because his life seemed to be just the whole idea of making music from all the different aspects, not just the singing, not just the instruments, not just the lyrics, but just the production of music, the creation.
I don't think, and here's the thing, he wasn't really big on the production part.
What do you mean by that?
It's like, we'll talk about this on the show.
Okay. All right.
You
So
know?
so what is that next month? We're gonna do that next month because it's
Okay, fine. Because
because
next
it
month we'll
yeah
kick it
because I
off
think it's he died on April 21st,
something
2016.
there. Yeah, so definitely the month of April, man. We're gonna and like the first couple of we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
got
we'll
I
figure
got
it
an idea, and then
out. Okay. All
we
right,
can
we'll figure
kick
it
it around, and then but let's get it out. I want to get it out this time.
All right. So what's going on with are the AI stuff? What's going on? What are you seeing right now that's caught your attention?
AI is just doing AI, man. You
Literally.
know, it is literally. It's just there is no other technology. And that's funny when I was, you know, listening to people at your event. It's like there is nothing else to talk about.
It really there was. I mean, there just isn't.
There
Have
really
you
isn't.
has was it like this? Because I really don't
No,
remember it being like this
no,
with like mobile. Like I know with
no.
iPhones.
There's nothing like this. It's like every component of and like before, like even let's say in mobile, right? We would still talk about the technology of um it would be okay, the things on the mobile phone, but then we'd have mobile payments and we would be talking, you know what I'm saying? There would just be all these different things in the technology world, and now there's just nothing. It's just all AI.
By the way, Terry, Purple Hearts. You must be a Prince fan. You know her?
Oh, I'm going to go and I'm not looking at the thread right now, but I will know
Okay.
in just a second. Oh, I done lost her
She,
daggone.
she's got three
Some
Purple
purple,
Hearts. I like that. Three.
purple hearts.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it feels like we should be getting tired of talking about this stuff, but it just feels like
You
it's
can't.
still ramping up. I mean, yeah, it's hard as much as it's talked about now. It still feels like it's early innings.
It's just the tentacles of it are everywhere.
I like what you said yesterday about I think was it Ramon that kind of referred to you as an AI expert or something like that, and you said I've
Oh
never called
yeah.
myself. I've never called my what did you say about the people who do call themselves that?
Oh no. What did I say? Was it nice?
Not to them.
No. Oh, like they're
I think
full
you
of
said they
shit.
were. Yeah, I think they were full of something.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be. It's like it's like giving birth to a baby, and on the second day, I'm a baby expert. No, bitch, you got a baby yesterday. How you gonna be? I mean, stop it. Stop it. And something comes out every day that's completely new, like open claw, you
Oh yeah.
know, people are becoming experts in that. And it just came out yesterday,
I
but I get
remember.
it.
I remember. When like email and people were calling themselves email experts, and it's like everybody at the hype cycle. It starts with the new tech, and just a little bit of time goes out before it like gets to the masses, and then people who are like early on and using something, then they want to be known as that person, right?
Yeah,
but
they're
but
naming themselves. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
but that usually it used to take a little bit more time. Now it's like compressed because as soon as something looks like it's AI and everybody immediately piles on, there's tons of videos. The stuff has only been out a week, but they know everything about it. And if you want to know anything, then you got to follow them.
Or,
That is so.
but here's the thing. My dad was a boxing coach,
Yep.
and one of the things with boxing is you just never stop learning.
Right. That's you know what?
You're never like, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking because we were just talking about Prince and how he was an expert in all aspects of his craft. He didn't just sit around talking about how great he is, or if you need to, if I just follow me. He just did the stuff. I mean, he just went in because he was really all about the work, not about trying to convince people that you're the person that you need to follow for this and that. I always
Yeah,
like following people who never say they're the person for this.
exactly.
Their actions show.
I
Oh, you
mean,
need to follow them.
well, that and I they should be open to whatever's out in the ethos out here, man. There's so much going on, and especially in AI.
I'll
I
give
mean,
you the even
AI is straight up.
the perfect example is going a print. Remember, well, when the LM1, the Lynn LN drum came out, he was one of the first musicians to like gravitate, and even the guy Roger Lynn who created the thing, he said, I had no idea how to do things in that, like Prince was doing stuff. I never imagined that's my use case for this was this.
Right.
Prince got
Right.
his hands on it and he put it through the paces to see what it could do, and then he became the LM drum master. But he never talked about himself as I'm the LM1. He just used it to create stuff, and then
Yeah,
he
that's in
became
his head.
and that's how people recognize him as he's the best pro drum beat maker on the LM1. He wasn't running around making videos saying, if you really want to learn how, that's why it's almost like you can always go back to Prince for almost everything. If you're talking about expertise and craftsmanship and knowledge, just because you want to make the things in your mind go out into the real world.
Exactly. And that's what AI affords a lot of people. I mean, if you've got an idea or a thought,
or an experiment, like
that's what it's good for. That's what it's good for.
But these people who like the minute something comes out, they read it and then they're talking about it like they're an expert. I'm like, come on, man, you just read those.
I'm not trying to be humble, or I know I'm not an expert. I'm learning every day from all kind of people all over the place.
Suzanne, I mean, you're right. He did well. At one point, he did do some things that he probably didn't necessarily want to do, but he wanted to get out there. So he did some things in the early days. You get as great as he was, he had to do certain things because people didn't know he was great. No, they couldn't have possibly known. I mean, come on, this guy was something that we've never seen before. You know how it is for mere mortals to comprehend, to understand that level of greatness. So I think he had to do some things in the early days that he maybe didn't want to do, but I'm glad he did it. Remember when he got booed? Well, not remember, but you weren't there. But remember, he opened for the Rolling Stones, and he got booed to hell on his first night, and he left, and it took Mick Jagger convincing him to come back. You know how hard it must have been for him to go through that? But he knew he had to get where he wanted to go, which is fine. So he had to do something.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he had to do some things. Oh,
I mean, I don't think everything was as intentional as it was demonstrative. I mean, that's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, hindsight's 2020. So it's like, wow, he's great, he's amazing, he's blah blah blah. But he was Prince.
Well, you know what?
That's just who you are.
He knew he had to go.
All of my greatness.
I'm just going to move past that last statement. I'm just saying he had to go in front of a Rolling Stones audience.
That was hard. And they was throwing bottles and food.
And calling them all sorts of words and names and things. But I give like Mick Jagger, Keith Richards is a whole other story. But Mick Jagger, he saw something in Prince that maybe most people didn't see at that time because he was the one who
was a straight up fan.
He was in the 70s and in the early 80s.
Yeah, I mean, he saw him in a club, a little small club, doing the Dirty Mind album.
Yeah, 1980. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, hey,
you should come
on the road.
I mean,
but you're talking about that's a whole different audience.
Well, I mean, he like in 1980 was, even though he was doing like stuff like Dirty Minds, which is completely, it wasn't an R&B.
You are turning this into the Prince show.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Let's go back. Let's go back. It was blame Suzanne.
Now we're just going into it, so I'm like,
blame Suzanne Hallam here. I mean, shoot, she got me all fired up. Let's go back to AI because we do want to do a Prince show, but not today. All right, keep me in check.
That's right. We need 2 weeks.
Keep me in check. All right. Well, what about the whole idea? It feels like to me, and I could be wrong. It feels like Anthropic, at least when it comes to the enterprise or the business world, it feels like Anthropic is like taking the conversation away a little bit from open AI, and it seems like more and more from a business. Maybe mid-market enterprise. I don't know. Maybe a little bit on the small business side for those tech bro kind of companies. It seems like Anthropic is really taking all the momentum where OpenAI was, and now it seems like Anthropic is kind of taking some of that conversation away. Am I
taking that shine?
Am I seeing things, or are you seeing that too?
I don't know, man. I think at some level, most or many of the people that were coding already were into it, and I really think what Anthropic is experiencing right now is, the populace catching on.
Like they were already caught on with OpenAI, and now they're kind of moving.
Yeah, I mean, the general population is catching on to, oh, there's something else out here besides OpenAI.
Let me put it another way, see if this makes sense. It feels like the first couple of years that OpenAI came out with ChatGPT, that was all about content creation and getting the quick answers from stuff.
Right. Yes.
And now it's gone from content to coding. Like now everybody's talking about coding and doing.
Yes.
Like that.
So that's what happened. It's that the founders of Anthropic were in OpenAI. When they realized that OpenAI were taking shortcuts when it came to some of the safety areas, they decided to create a safer, quote, AI. So that was what Anthropic was supposed to be. Right. And then I think somewhere along the way, Anthropic realized that they weren't going to be the general public AI. And they decided that they were going to do coding as their
focus. Yeah, their focus area.
Yeah. And so once they did that, and then they started seeing a lot of advancements in the coding, OpenAI was like, hey, wait, let's start making our models, able to code too. But they have never had the ability to code the way Anthropic has. So that's why I'm like, if you were in that genre, you already were in Anthropic's, wheelhouse, because that's what they focused on, And I just think over the last year or so, everything has gone, at first it was, the regular, whatever those languages are that people code in, Python and all of that. But then I think people realize, hey, everything on the internet is a code. And it's like, hey, I could write a HTML page with it, and it would just throw it out and be perfect.
Now, one of the things that was mentioned throughout yesterday, the idea of agentic AI getting to the point where anybody can use vibe coding in Claude or OpenClaw or whatever you would pick, whatever front end you want to talk about, and create applications that would rival some of the more traditional enterprise applications. Now, at that conference, that talk was completely poo-pooed, for lack of a better way of putting it, because it's hard to think that enterprises are gonna trust some dude with Claude Max account in Cursor to create robust enterprise level security focused mission critical applications. And I agree with that. But do you think there's some opportunity for some kind of applications? Well, maybe like some of the more traditional applications, like an office or something, because people are still using email and spreadsheets and documents. Is there any way that you see some? I'm just saying this to make a point, but it's a little bit facetious. Some dude in his mother's basement with with a Claude account and some Cursor to create something.
I think people are overlooking the obvious to me.
Okay,
It's I don't go to some dude in a basement. I go to some dude that's in an enterprise level. He's running the team that's in an enterprise, and they're like, "Hey, let's start building out something that is very unique to what we do exactly."
So would it
And we
be
can
they build something like I hear a lot of people saying you build like add-ons, like a lot of people are building
That
add-ons
would
using
probably
it.
be the beginning of it,
Yeah.
and then because I mean, you think, and I look at here's what I look at. I look at Amazon.
Okay.
Okay. And my Amazon story is the one where uh I don't remember what year it was. It was like 2015 or whatever, or somewhere. I don't know, somewhere. Maybe it's a little later. But UPS missed their delivery deadlines for Christmas.
Oh,
Do you
I
remember
thought
that
it was
year?
what I thought they did that had some Valentine Day issues too that people were like freaking out over.
Maybe, but
Maybe
I
it was
remember
Christmas.
them. I remember missing on Christmas,
That's a bad
and
miss too.
I mean, it was a huge miss.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a huge amount of packages didn't make it for Christmas, right? And Amazon didn't just say, "Hey, we're going to go out and we're going to build, a package delivery uh, thing." That's not what they said. What they said is, "We have got to fill the gap here." And if you
Oh,
remember,
I
because
forgot
we were
about
doing it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're figuring,
Yeah.
right? So at first, remember, they got kids, or people in their basement to do package delivery for them. Remember? And
Yep.
they were paying them, and that's how they got started. And as they started looking at more and more and more, that's how we got to where we are. It didn't take them that long,
Mm.
but they had the understanding and the team and the infrastructure to actually build out something that today I'm sure I don't even know, how many packages they deliver versus how many packages UPS delivers,
Have
but
they did they never surpassed them, did they? Or did they?
I don't think so. I don't, I think we would have heard that.
They would have made a big deal out of that if that
It
were.
would have made a big deal, right? But I mean, but just for them to take package delivery in-house 100%,
Yeah.
you would have just been like, "There's no way a e-commerce company is going to do that." Look at Brown; they've been around for 35 freaking or however many years there. You know what I'm saying?
I
It just didn't
remember
make any sense.
I remember when we were doing the Amazon show that the day where they I think it was 800 million that they invested in building out, was it their shipping, which included the like the air support for flying packages and then the ground
Oh
support.
yeah, right. I
And
forgot about that.
remember we were like, that's a lot of money. Why are they
Yeah,
doing
like
all
what are
that?
y'all doing? What are y'all doing?
And then you
So
look
I
back
just
on it's
don't
like,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, and the deal is, and I heard somebody say this yesterday. I don't remember which panel, but he said something about, or maybe, yeah, I think it was the dude. He said something about, that these software companies have to look at a different model for pricing.
Oh yeah, that the definite common
That's
theme. Yeah, because
huge.
subscriptions, people
And per
are
seat subscription.
yeah, because people are kind of tired of paying subscriptions for everything,
You're
and it's
right.
not just software. I remember
Yeah.
like 10 years ago, maybe a little longer, when I got rid of cable because I was tired of they keep on increasing the price with this cable, And all of a sudden it was like, whoa, wow, YouTube it's only $35 a month. And
Wow. I wish
yeah,
it were still.
right. And then Netflix was at one point was only like $8 a month. It's like, oh, this is great, And then as every year passed, Netflix is
It
$10
keeps going up.
Yeah,
Keeps going up.
yeah. And then now all the things that you're buying subscriptions because you like this content over here. Oh, I like this show, but you got to get this subscription for it. It's just killed it. And I think that's the subscription economy. It was thriving over the last a decade or so, but at some point you realize I'm spending way more money now than I ever did with traditional cable.
Absolutely.
And I think we're at that kind of point in general subscriptions when you realize that it's kind of like remember what they said used to say about Office. You buy Office and you only use about 10 to 15% of it,
right?
But you're paying for 100%. You're
paying for 100%. So it's like, hey, somebody put something together in their on their team, and you just think about it too, man. You remember how Google got here? One thing Google used to do, I can't remember how many hours a week, but they would have a set aside hours in a week for you to just develop something.
Oh, like give you your opportunity to build something that is yeah.
And some of their best work has been done from that kind of an environment. Why would you not? Most of these companies have teams of very skilled developers and coders, and now in their hand is a tool that can code at a very good level right now.
And it's only going to get better. I mean, it's only going to get better.
So that code can get you 80% there, and then the rest of the team and the humans on that team can get you the rest of the 20% for a tool that you're only using 20% of anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think people, we've been hearing about the consumption-based pricing. So Amazon really pioneered some of that with the AWS stuff. Like you only pay for what you use. But almost every pricing model that comes around at one point, oh, we love it because it's new, it's different. It doesn't feel like we're being taken advantage of. And at some point, they always cross that line. It's like, wait a minute.
I guess that is true. That is true.
And it feels like this is the time where subscription-based pricing models have kind of crossed the Rubicon, and now people are saying, you mean there's some things that we can just pay as we actually use it? And you're seeing a lot of that particularly with the AI. I still don't know. I don't think there's been a pricing model that actually has been created just yet that is the sweet spot for all this stuff that's going on, because everybody's still talking about tokens and energy consumption and how do they really take all of these things into account to create a pricing model that works for your customers and for you.
Well, here's the crazy thing is that Anthropic is profitable.
Yeah, pretty much right out of the gate.
Pretty much, right? Yeah. OpenAI is not.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Yeah, they're expending or they're spending almost as much as they're getting in from all these these $50 billion commitments. I think they've already committed to like 100 billion on the other end of that.
Dude, I'm telling you that. I think he kind of screwed the pooch a little bit on this.
Who, Sam?
Yeah.
In what way?
Did. Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna make this personal.
Okay.
All right. So to me, I don't trust Sam. I don't trust Sam, and it stems way back to when he created GPTs on the platform. And the promise was that you guys start creating GPTs. We're going to make a GPT store, and then you'll be able to sell your GPTs like the Apple, store.
Oh, they're trying to replicate the App Store, basically.
Yeah, it was basically the App Store.
Yeah.
And he never did that. They never did that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell? And there's never been a explanation. And it's just been sitting out there forever, you
Yeah,
know.
maybe the
GPT.
explanation is that things are moving so fast that things,
Maybe,
I wouldn't be surprised if that's it. Like maybe they
maybe,
saw another opportunity that seemed better and they just
possibly,
moved to that, you know?
possibly, but still, you made a promise to your user base,
Yeah.
and it was a very big, I mean, like we were like, oh, we're gonna start making AI products, GPTs, and be able to, and then it just didn't go anywhere. So from that, I just don't have a lot of trust. So I'll listen to him talk and I'll be like, he's kind of full of shit. I just have that, feeling about him. And
I I'm gonna give him a little bit more. I can't believe I'm gonna say leeway because I do think things are moving at such an accelerated pace
yeah,
that even having the best of intentions to do
yeah,
something.
yeah. But see, hold on, Brian. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm holding.
So here's the thing is then you start going and looking at all the things that have been done, right? So OpenAI goes from open to paid. Who did that? He did that,
Yeah.
right? They fired him because they said he was hiding stuff from the board. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bad.
he's got it. So when you start stepping back, I'm
Yeah.
like, this guy, he's got a little bit of snaky in him, you
Yeah.
know? And so when this situation comes up with the military, he
Yeah.
jumps in,
And then got crushed.
got crushed, and then he tried to backpedal and say, "Well, we're doing the same thing that Anthropic is doing." But then I'm like, "But you're a bullshitter, so I really don't trust your word on that." And
Okay.
now
Yeah.
that's
I can
why a
see.
lot of people are moving.
I can see that, but I can also see everybody not having a complete handle on how this is all playing out in these early
Absolutely.
days. And not to say that this is his thinking, but I could see somebody saying, "Oh, let's do this. This is the way to go" on a Monday. And then like 2 days later, "Oh my God, no, we need to, this is the big thing here," and in
Man,
switching to that. I can see it.
seriously,
I can see
seriously
it.
though.
I can see it.
Okay, but
I
here's
can
the other, and I agree. Definitely a lot of things going. Then all of his best developers that created ChatGPT back in the day, all of the big ones, Ilya Susskind, whatever, the people over at OpenAI or at Anthropic, all these folks, right?
Yep.
Ain't none of them talking great about him. They just don't say anything.
That's no, that's yeah. That's not good.
That's not good, right? There's a lot of signals going on here. Yeah, it's like,
But yeah, so maybe he changed, or maybe it was always there and now it's just coming out. I don't know. Yeah, because
possibly.
it was originally a not for profit, and they
Yeah.
had and then they created like that dual, kind of pathway of, we want to make money, but we also we originally got on board. Didn't your boy sue him because of that?
Yeah, because they
Elon?
took his money.
Yeah, that's why
It
they.
was all his money that made it, for the first years of OpenAI was made with his money. So he was financing them, and then all of a sudden, it's like, I think we want to do something for profit.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, that's not our agreement. It's like, wow. So
So,
there's something there. You know what? Where there's smoke, there's fire.
oh yeah, and it's still early days to all this,
It's
and
so early.
like the financial community is calling this stuff SaaS apocalypse and all this because
Yeah,
all this money that's circulating between all these companies when it comes to AI, and it's not getting out to anybody else yet that they can show some serious ROI from their AI investments. And I think until I know Meta did come out their last quarter and said, "Oh yeah, we our AI investments have led to a 24% ROI," but it didn't say it was a change in the business model due to AI. It said our business model, we infuse AI into our business model, and that created this 24% ROI.
Mm.
Not too many businesses are going to be able to use AI to just increase their business model as is, because they're an ad business. It's not like you're creating widgets, you're ads. So I think that's an easier pathway to see AI ROI. Shoot, AI ROI sounds funny.
Yeah, all right. There you go.
But I think because they showed it, remember they had that 1 day increase when their earnings came out.
Yes.
They said, yeah, we had 24% lift from our AI investment, and people were like, oh, finally we get to see some ROI from it. But that's an ad thing. That's a digital thing. It's not creating widgets. You know, and so nobody else. I shouldn't say nobody else, but I haven't seen any of the tech companies outside of the Magnificent Seven show that their AI, and they're making huge AI investments, have shown their investments have led to that kind of increase. That hasn't happened yet. I think when companies are able to finally show our AI, this is really a tongue twister, our AI investments, we actually we're seeing some actual lift in our ROI, and we're going to project it's going. We haven't seen any of that yet. I think once we start seeing those kind of things happen outside of the Magnificent Seven, you're seeing the actual AI spread out to other companies. That's when I think this thing really takes off. But we haven't seen any of that yet.
It's coming though.
Yeah, but when you think, how long is it going to think that it's going to take for it to spread out away from just the as I like to say, the pick and shovel makers?
Well, the thing is, the pick and shovel makers are always going to have that advantage.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to talk. I don't want to say it. But I mean, it's going to be employee replacement.
Dude, as and when you say that, I saw something in just today. Oh, the CEO of ServiceNow was on CNBC, and he said he can see 30% unemployment for new college graduates, because they're the ones that are in the immediate firing range of AI, because of the knowledge that you don't have to bring somebody in and get them trained up for 3 years and then let them go. Now,
yeah, I can see that. I think that's the first part, is definitely, as opposed to firing people,
just not hiring people.
not hiring people, not backfilling. Yeah, I think that's coming. And a matter of fact, it's anyway. I don't like being, because people's like, well, why are you so negative? I'm not negative. You just like, whatever. If anybody knows anything about me, when I talk about, when I get hold of something and then I start going deep into it, it'll be like COVID 2020 back in the day. I'll start bringing out my charts.
Oh no, not the charts.
It's like, oh no, not the charts. But I had a lady that was at your event, and she's like, yeah, I remember you were the one that was talking about COVID. I was like, really?
Wow.
You remember that? Yeah. But it was very impactful at the time, because a lot of people weren't following the numbers. They didn't, we were just going about our daily life. And I think we're in that right now. We're going about our daily life, but I think there's some underlying numbers that are really speaking.
Probably are. Probably a lot.
I think so. There has to be. But if you don't isolate it and say, this is where we're at, and then make a stand, because I think people don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be wrong, or you don't want to be pointed
Late. You
at.
don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be late. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man.
And see, once again, going back to how we began, this is also part of the unsettling feeling. This stuff, because we don't know where, when, how. You know, and
No.
this is when this is all everybody is talking about, and nobody, as you would say, nobody knows what the hell is going to happen. Even the
Mm-mm.
folks that create this stuff, they don't
Don't
even.
know. They'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know it did that."
Yeah, because going back to the Lynn Drummond Prince, I got to bring it back.
Okay, bring it back.
Lynn created it. Prince found out what it could do. Lynn didn't know that. He created the thing. He didn't know what the limits of it was, because
Yes.
the limits are only in the mind of the people who use it.
Mm,
Those are the folks who know it better than the actual person who made the thing.
mm.
And
I
that
would say something that would be so. Never mind.
go say,
Never.
because we're about to end.
No, no, no. So it's but just think about the maker of the thing. Oftentimes, don't know how the thing is going to be utilized in the hands of others.
The maker of the thing usually makes the thing because they had one thing in mind that they were trying to ease their use of that one use case.
Mm.
But then somebody who had other problems saw that and they wondered,
I wonder if I can do that
for what I need. And then they take it and they tinker around and bam, now they have, and the maker's like, damn, I didn't think, wow, because he didn't think about it. He was only thinking about she only thinking about the thing that they needed it for.
Yes, man, that's prolific.
So all those folks who created this stuff, I bet they're just as amazed as all
they
of us.
are.
Yeah,
They are. And none of them get on and be like, "Well, I'm the expert on AI."
They're
None
not.
of them sit there like that. They're sitting there and they're learning just like we are.
Yeah, they're the kings of AI or the doctors of AI.
No.
Anyway,
goodbye.
We better end on a powerful note.
All right.
And next month, as we do these shows, as we lead into that, I'm going to try not to talk about Prince until the actual.
Yeah, good luck.
But anyway, I hope y'all have a great weekend. Hopefully nothing bad happens because it's a Friday the 13th weekend and all that. But hopefully we will see you next week.
Enjoy, guys.
Later. If I can only stop this thing. There it is.
Stop that thing.